and Dorian Bryant. It's been a long time coming, but here it comes. We're underway at Babson Park in the Elite Eight. Isaiah Nelson wins the tap. Nick Komenal's got the ball. And the Beavers are on the move in their home whites from right to left. Flannery out at the right wing. Puts to the floor. Gives back up top for Nelson. Flannery to the dribble. On high. Gives it over to Rice. Rice into the lane. His left-hander bounces out, but he chases down his own miss. Fresh 30 as Lund lost his footing. Wasn't able to give a contest for Rice as he ran after it. Flannery, power drive to the left, pulls up for the mid-range jumper, no good, and the rebound grabbed by Azella. Azella, the native of Medway, Mass, playing in front of quite a few family and friends here tonight as he was a day ago. Dribble drive by Lund, spins from the left side, his shot bounces out, rebound Nelson. Quickly outlet to Komenal. Komenal into the front court. Steps to his left, gets it to Rice. Rice backing down, looks for the shot, wants the right-hander and gets it to go. Babson takes the immediate lead. 18:55 to go first half. Beavers in front by a pair. Nichols puts to the floor, rises, drops it back. Jumper by Lund is good, and we're tied again. Jeff Lund, a senior out of Nashua, New Hampshire, and Bishop Girton, ties the contest at 2. Komenal goes to the dribble, brings it down to the baseline, throws it back up top for Lowry. Lowry around to the right side for Rice, who finds Flannery. Flannery up top, here's Lowry, head fake, spins, kicks it out to Nelson up top for Komenal. Komenal was 6 to shoot, gives it back, Rice bluffs, steps through traffic, finds a wide open Nelson who scores off the window. First 2 points for Isaiah, and the Beavers have got the lead again early, just about 2 minutes in.
Make it into the Final Four in 2015. Definitely a great experience, but, something that left us really hungry to get back there and then eventually win it. So getting that taste, but no, we had a brand new team really in 2016. So, went through some growing pains and had an unfortunate end to the year, but really, that kept our chip on our shoulder and we're able to get there senior year. But, I think it was just, we remained hungry throughout those 4 years, and just to be able to do that with such a dedicated crew our senior year was great.
In front of the Babson bench. Owls got here very impressively, knocking off Amherst at Ramapo in the first round, 69-66. Amherst was number 1 once upon a time earlier in the year, beat number 5 Ramapo on its own court, 92-91 in overtime. They turn it over there. And then, of course, won on this floor one night ago, 68-64 over Christopher Newport, the number 2 team in the country. So if Keene State is to go to the Final Four, they'll have to do it by beating the number 5, number 2, and number 3 teams in the country all in succession with a first-round win over a former number 1. That would be a tough road to hoe. There's the steal by Nichols. He's got Lowry in front of him. Lowry lets him go, and so Nichols scores. First points of the night for this sophomore out of Springfield, Mass. And it's a 2-point game. Rice off to the left. Batted away by Lund. Beavers got here with 3 wins all on this floor. Last weekend, 92-76 over Husson. Last Saturday, 72-65 and come from behind fashion over Skidmore. And then last night, 87-80 over Tufts. Tufts was ranked 14th in the country going into that matchup. Flannery going to try his first 3, right on the money. Joey needs 26 tonight to have 700 for the season. And Nichols with an immediate answer gets 2 of them right back. 9-6, the Beaver advantage. Defense chant from the Keene fans. Lowry drops it back for Rice. Rice looks inside, good dish to Komenal, but he didn't have the turn. Flannery dishes down low, good pass to Nelson who had it, lost it, and Nichols comes away with the steal. Nichols pushing 3-on-3 up the floor. Edwards gets all the way in, misses the bunny, falls down. He takes about 7 steps. They're going to say he kept the dribble alive. I'm not so sure. There was an official right down there. 3 ball by Azilla is good, and we're tied at 9. Both teams have risen to the occasion here early. Your officials for tonight's game, Adam Vandenberg, James Salomon, and Nickerlang Fleury. Flannery to the dribble drive. Great over-the-head pass. Down low, and what do we got here? Call a charge on Flannery. About 10 seconds, certainly with the momentum coming out of that timeout.
I think it was more of the same for us. We have been so focused on the back-to-backs and the two-game tournaments for a couple years that I think it really just been ingrained in us. And I think we were able to pretty quickly turn the page after the Tufts game and just get ready to go again and just take it as a new day.
Joey Flannery, 2 for 2 from downtown, setting its own early. Nichols with the bounce pass. Travel before the move to the basket by Lund. Score that notch for Isaiah Nelson. Entry to Cominal. And Stephen Brennan saying, go, get it going, get across half court. They do. Flannery trying to get himself free. Had a little bit of a lane to the inside, decided not to take it. Stops, gives to Rice. Rice spins across to Cominal. Cominal through the lane, puts up a float and gets it to bounce home off the glass. First points of the night for the junior out of New York Mills. Lund on the block. Gives it inside, and Lehman flies in to score. Jimmy Lehman in off the bench. Junior forward out of Rentham, Mass, and King Philip. Gets the Owls back within 3. Cominal, an NBA 3, no good, bounces out. Mazzella the rebound. Early in the shot clock, and the Owls looking for the tie. Pull-up 3 by Nichols is good. Very quick 5-0 run by the Owls, and they wipe out the game's largest deficit. Tied at 14 with 13:56 to go. Dangerous pass. Flannery chases it down off the tap. Lehman clapping for him to come at him, and that's a bad idea. And one for Joey, and I don't think Mr. Lehman's going to want to clap in number 32's general direction ever again. Fouls on Azella, it's his first. Flannery, an 85% free throw shooter on the year. Misses that time, all front rim. So the Beaver lead is 2, not 3. Hamill, who was a free throw machine last night, sends it around left for Nichols. Nichols steps inside, right-hander, bounces in. Did just enough to get that up over Rice. How about Ty Nichols with 9 points, the game's leading scorer through the first 6+ minutes. Rice leaves it for Lowry. Lowry bounds it down. Nelson turns and faces Lund, now backs him in, passes across. Lowry's open for the mid-range jumper, misses it. Lowry taps the offensive board out to Flannery across. Cominal looking for it, no, bounces out. Lowry gets up.
One of the things I always look back and tell people is that, unlike Division I, you get to host if you're lucky enough at Division III. So being able to do that our sophomore year, and then again senior year, just have, not only your families, students, but also just local fans that, are attracted to the NCAA tournament. So they came out and the gym was rocking. It was a huge advantage for us. We were comfortable there. And just the fans are incredible. So even moments when we were down, we never got rattled. Couldn't say enough about that opportunity to play in the postseason in front of your fans. Normally it's always on the road, but getting that was just special, really, and something that I know all those guys on that team and the coaches will never forget.
Azella up top. Swung around toward the wing, dribble drive by Hamill, up and under. Great move, he scores. Hamill, another Bay Stater out of Methuen, Mass, and Central Catholic. And a foul called there on Nichols up against Droney. First foul on Nichols. third foul on Keene State. Babson has got a 3-1 advantage in that department. Entry pass to Flannery, and he scores immediately. Great cut to the basket. Flannery with 10 immediately. 10 of Babson's 20. Loose ball. Droney nearly got a piece of it. Owls get it back. Here's Hamill. Kicks out to the left. 3-ball by Edwards. Bounces out, and the rebound will fall out of bounds. Beavers regain possession with 12:17 remaining in a frenetic first half. Droney across the timeline, gets the screen from Flannery, takes to the baseline, throws through and hits the Keene State bench. Rare mistake there by Droney, taps his chest to say it's his fault. Had Rice in the corner, just got that pass on the wrong angle. Nichols staring down Flannery. Wants a screen to his left, steps off of it, gives the ball back, Edwards throws around. Azella takes on Rice, spins, stripped on the way up by Droney. Excellent play there by Matt Droney. That's how to make up for a turnover. Create one of your own. Droney receives, puts to the floor, kicks back out, and gets the return from Nelson. Droney leaves it. Flannery lobs it down. Nelson open. He gets doubled quickly, puts his rebound to the floor, and scores. His dribble to the floor, I should say. Had it the whole time. That prevented him from traveling. And the Babson lead back up to 4. This game's been tight all night. The largest lead was 5 for Babson at 14-9. It lasted under a minute. Nichols to the baseline, throws through the lane. Cominal the last to touch it. That'll bring us to our next media timeout. 11:07 left to go in the first half. Your score Babson against Rhode Island College, but it was Rick from the Little East that ended up going that year. Keene State advanced the Elite Eight in 2004. So I just wanted to do that little housekeeping for any Keene historians. I'm sure a couple of you at least were yelling at the screen last night. Mea culpa. Lund missed the iron there, hit only glass, and so Babson gets a quick stop, and they've got the ball with a 4-point lead. 10:52 left to go in the half as they leave it for Rice. Beautiful dish down low. Extra pass inside out for Flannery. No good. Off the back rim. Good ball movement there by the Beavers. Just didn't knock down the shot. Pass quickly up ahead to Edwards. And the official down there appears to be under the impression that the ball lies. There's one thing we all know about basketball. It's that the ball don't lie. Nevertheless, it's a foul on Charlie Rice, his first. And free throws here for the Owls. Edwards makes his first 2. He's a 71% free throw shooter on the year. Now 81 of 113 on the season. A senior out of Manchester, Connecticut. Hits both. Costly foul call there as it gets the Owls back within a pair. Bounce down low for Nelson. Nelson gobbled up by Lund with some help. Nelson spins and score it and one. Late foul call coming from the backside of the play. And the foul is going to be on Lund. First foul on Lund. I thought they might have called Nelson for a travel as he used the same pivot foot twice without ever really resetting himself. Instead, it's the foul. So an and one here for Isaiah, who made a couple of free throws just a couple minutes ago. Rims out, and so the lead stays at 4. 10:18 remaining in the first half. Mazzella on the baseline. Trapped in against Flannery. Airmails one cross court for Nichols. Nichols with 14 on the shot clock. Steps inside, throws through, and Flannery deposits that off the back wall. 10 minutes left to go in the half. 3 ball from the corner.
We had talked in 15 about the fact that, I always felt the best way to get there is to try and host both weekends, and things have to fall your way, and you got to win a ton of games to earn that right. I thought the crowds were thundering through, both weekends of the Final Four run, and we won the Keene State game by 20 points, and it was just. It just kept the energy up. It was definitely an advantage. I think the guys definitely, we only really played 7 guys in those games. And, I think the TV time, the media timeouts obviously helped, but to have that fan support and excitement and just energy that comes from them was just tremendous.
Henry head fakes on the deep 3, kicks to Droney. Droney backing in, his pass knocked out of bounds by Lund. Babson keeps it with 10 to shoot. Lowry comes back in, Komenal going to come out. Another sluggish first half for Nick Komenal. Just been 2 points so far. He's been a much better second half player in this NCAA tournament run than in the first. Rice catches, remember he's only got 8. Flannery was 6, falls away into a 3. No good off the front rim. Nichols had the rebound, ripped away by Lowry. Lowry stole it clean out of his hands from down low. Droney rises for 3, misses off the front rim, rebound taken by Edwards. Another nifty play on the glass by Chris Lowry. Ball nearly stripped by Rice, Bunny no good, Lund's there for the follow. 2-point game now with 8.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Lowry ranging to his right. Gives it to the left for Flannery, who rises, gets it out to the wing. Rice for 3 is good. First triple of the night for Charlie Rice. About 7 steps there for him, will not called, and he scores. So very quickly back to a 1-possession game at 29-26 with 8 minutes to go. Timeout coming at the next whistle. Flannery looks right, went left. Rice is open, fakes his man out, gets all the way to the cup, score it, and 1! 1 for 43. He's made his only 4 starts of the year, all in the 4 NCAA tournament games. And he's right down the middle on that one. 6 for Rice, and Babson again has got its largest lead at 6, 32-26. Nichols puts to the floor, dribble drive through the lane. His right-hander is up and good. 11 so far for Nichols. Beavers now in front by 4. Bounce down low for Bradley Jacks into the game for the first time. Kick to the corner for Lowry. No look pass at Rice. Up top for Droney. 8 to shoot. Rice gives off to Flannery. Flannery rises, his 3 is good! Rainbow of a shot there by Joey. He's got a baker's dozen already, including 3 triples, and the Beaver lead is 7, 35-28. Quick answer by Edwards, missed everything. Lund loses the rebound out of bounds, and that is red meat for the student section. So this has been a very close game for almost the whole night. But right now, Babson's got an advantage, and they've got a chance to make it stick. 6:44 left to go on the half. Beavers up 7 plus the ball. Rice steps inside, kicks it out for Lowry. Lowry up top. It's the closest thing Babson has to his second unit now with these injuries. Droney leaves it outside for Jacks. Jacks steps inside, muscles through the lane, loses the ball, gets it out to Rice. He puts up a 3 and hits! Charlie Rice has hit another gear in this NCAA tournament. And has it ever made a difference? 10-point lead, there's a block, and again, a blocking foul called on what appeared to be a clean block. Foul is on Bradley Jacks. I must say he is moving around a lot better than he was last night. Bradley came back out to the floor last night. I was one of about 5 people left in the building at 11:15 last night. Brad came out on his own, hooked up the shooting gun, ran the extension cord himself in true D3 fashion, and proceeded to take 320 shots before calling it a night just after 11 p.m. last night. I couldn't leave because I couldn't believe what I was watching. He's just trying to get that lift backed under him on his jump shot. If he can do that, he's going to be a force. Komenal back in, and Rice to the bench. Zella hits both.
I think the first thing is learning to play with the crowd. So like Coach always talks about playing with emotion but not emotionally. And I think that kind of fits into that, where we got so much good energy off the crowd, but we weren't that group that was overwhelmed to see it either. And I think that was really the biggest thing. Like, we were seasoned at that point. For a lot of us, it was, I don't know, over our 10th NCAA game, and we had played a bunch of them at home to that point. So I think it was sort of business as usual for us, and especially coming off the night before, because I remember the night before being even crazier with the tickets and all that. That was one of the things that probably helped us compared to Keene, where, I remember some of our talk before the game was, hey, these guys haven't really been here before, so they're happy to be here, and we know what we need to do, and we know what we want to do. So I just think the business-like approach, just coming in and just getting it done regardless of what was going on in the crowd. And that said, obviously the crowd was, a huge advantage, and it was, so nice to see them come out all the time. And one of my favorite things about the championship run was just how much we seemed to bring the community together. And, that's something that I'll look back on and always smile at.
Lowry. Nelson is back in now. Cominal through the lane, fouled on the floor prior to that pass. That shot would not have counted. It'll be the 6th foul on Keene, their last foul to give. So Babson will be in the bonus for the remaining 5:29. And compounding the issue is that's the 2nd foul on Jaquel Edwards. And so he comes out as Zella quickly back in. He just came out moments ago. Lowry trying to find Flannery, can't, so he goes to Droney instead. And Hamill gives a foul there that's going to put Flannery at the line. Ryan Keene bursting over to protest the call. Flannery, you saw last night, took serious advantage of the bonus in the second half against Tufts. And here he's able to do it in the first half with 5:26 remaining. Nothing like playing with a lead in the bonus. Flannery short arms the first one, and Nichols comes away with a rebound. Nichols races up the floor and throws it back up top over to the right side for Lehman. Lehman for Hamill. Hamill gets a step, dishes through the lane. Great pass to Azella, misses the layup. Follow is good. One with a great job to clean up. 7-point game at 40-33 with 5 minutes remaining in the half. Big offensive first half both ways. A foul away from the ball will put Flannery back at the line, as Flannery is just outfoxing Hamill right now. You have to know the situation if you're Lucas Hamill. Your team's in the penalty, and Flannery's trying to create offense for an offense that's having trouble creating its own right now. So it makes all the sense in the world to try to get to the line of the penalty. So of course he's going to start flailing his arms like he's getting fouled. You got to know better. Hamill's still protesting the call, but he's got to wise up quick, or Joey Flannery's going to have about 40 points tonight. Joey makes the front end. He'll get another. Flannery incredibly playing in his 13th career NCAA tournament game here tonight for Babson College. Far and away a program record. The record, of course, he shares with the other members of his senior class that have been here for the 4 years. 17 on the shot clock for Lund as his right-hand baby hook is up over Nelson. Gave Nelson a dose of his own medicine right there. And Keene back within 7 with 4:32 remaining in the half. Flannery leaves it behind for Lowry. Lowry steps right, kicks out to Rice. Rice stops, 2 to shoot. Lowry the deep 3, no, offline. Hit Flannery's hand but didn't catch on the iron, so it doesn't matter. It's going to be Keene's ball no matter what. Yeah, the Beavers right now just need to make it to this next media timeout. Might want to consider giving a foul to do it, as they've got 2 left to give here with 4:05 remaining. Although fouls are scarce, you can't really afford to do that when you're only going 7 deep. So strike that from the record. 3:55 to go. Lund on the baseline. The shot's up and good, but you see what I'm talking about. Beavers need to catch their breath here. And the longer that takes to occur, the more this lead, I think, will dwindle. Commonall with a 3 from straight on. No good off the back rim, and Keene lets that go out of bounds. I think Lehman would have been better off.
At the beginning of that fall, I remember that, I think it was the 6 seniors came in to see me, and they just said, look, our only agenda is to win. Like, we're going to put any of our own, whatever self-imposed goals aside, and we are going to do everything in our power to get us back to the Final Four, which means, at points you're going to have to sacrifice. And that was their mindset from the beginning. And their mindset was also just focused on, we're going to do the little things to, take the next step. And no one's going to stop us. It's going to be Virginia or bust. And, I think they had the confidence from going in 15. I think they felt pretty confident until Joey went down in the Amherst game in the second weekend of the Sweet 16 game. So I just felt like they were driven. They understood what it took. They had been some of the guys had been through, the time in 15 where we're, playing games in the 50s. And then now all of a sudden, we're kind of a high-octane offensive team that, can score in bunches and just, lay the hammer down. So, I just think they got better. And I think they had the toughness and the confidence and the experience of being tested in numerous ways. I mean, in 15, we probably could have lost easily to Skidmore in their 1-3-1 zone. So I think that experience that collectively that those guys had, and then having Isaiah check in for those 2 years, was tremendous. And there was just so much growth within those 7 guys, in addition to Bo Miller and Bradley Jackson went down with the injuries.
3 per game. He's the team's leader in scoring. Nichols misses the second off the back rim, and Rice secures the rebound. 2.5 minutes remaining in the half. What's the situation going to be at the break? Babson, if they can get on a run, can take a double-digit lead. Commonall to that end misses a 3 off the front rim. Lund chases down the board. Keene, with a run of their own, could even this game back up, maybe even take the lead. Nichols throws through to the left side. Lehman looking for 3. No good. Hits the top of the backboard. They let it play through. Rice got the board, hands it off to Flannery as we dip under 2 minutes. Commonall bluffs left, steps right. His pass tipped and stolen away by Lehman. Kept his feet in bounds, gets it ahead to Azella. 2-on-1, lays it up and in. Great defense and ball movement there by Keene, as they're back within 5 with $1:45 left to go in the first half. Rice steps right, bounces it left for Lowry. Lowry dribbling to his right, gets some room, throws back. Commonall for the backdoor 3, money. Lowry playing the cat and mouse game himself right there. Drew the defense to the right, had Commonall back to the left, and he made it stick. Bounce entry to Azella, score it, and 1. Charlie Rice in the wrong place at the wrong time. He picks up his second foul, and he's got to be careful with that now. There's still 1:10 left to go in the half.
In watching the game again, it really reminded me a lot of many games that we had in those couple of years where we played okay in the first half and then played better in the second half. So, yeah, I mean, in terms of when we went in the locker room, I think we're very relaxed for, halftime of an Elite 8 game, in a close game.
He's into double digits now. His 10 is second only to Nichols' 13. Flannery across the timeline, and he's going to call a timeout. The prior timeout was not a Babson timeout, it was a Keene timeout. So Babson will use their use it or lose it 30-second timeout here And both teams will have 3 remaining going into the second half, in all likelihood, barring something unforeseen. So 1:04 to go in the half. Babson in front by 5. Amazing to think only 4 games in the entire country tonight. We'll get you those scores at halftime when we get you the stats from this one, but the temptation to check other scores tonight just isn't quite there. The only other game of local interest is Middlebury taking on Williams out at Middlebury. So New England guaranteed to have 2 Final Four teams no matter what happens here and no matter what happens there. Of course, undefeated Whitman still out there at 30-0. If they win tonight, they would face the winner of this game. 1 minute remaining in the half. Pass stolen away by Nichols. Droney tried to go to Cominal and couldn't. Nichols to the head of steam. Score it and 1. Droney picks up another foul. And the Keene section, as loud as it's been in a long time, and understandably so, they made 2 great plays in a row in the open court. Nichols feasting on this Babson defense in the first half. His free throw is good. He's got 16 of Keene's 46, and they are, not that they were ever out of it, but they are really right back in it now, down by just the 2 with 50 seconds remaining. Babson limping to the end of the half in similar fashion to last night. Ended up being down 1 to Tufts one night ago. Lowry out to Flannery. Flannery fakes the 3, steps aside, gets open, swish. Flannery didn't come this far to lose this game in his senior year. Steal by Cominal. Cominal into the open court. Babson across the timeline. Shot clock's turned off. Babson, if they choose, can hold out for the final shot. 18 seconds remaining, and Droney appears to be taking that shot now. Beavers by 5. Flannery's got the double high screen. He'll use it. Gives it up to Cominal. Cominal contested, no good. Droney chases down the rebound, saves it in. But that shot does get off, misses short, and that's how the first...
Welcome to the beautiful campus of Babson College, located 14 miles west of Boston. Our athletics department features 22 varsity programs, and we are proud of our tradition of success. We are home to 5 Division III national championships and have sent 16 of our programs to the national postseason since 2015. The $52 million state-of-the-art Babson Recreation and Athletics Complex is home to the Beavers' 22 varsity programs. Completed in the summer of 2019, BRAC includes a 3-court recreation center, a 2-story fitness center complete with cardio and strength training equipment, and updated locker rooms for all teams. The new 75,000 square foot space also features a new athletic training room, film room, and multi-purpose spaces for athletics and community events. Stockey Gymnasium, home to Babson's men's and women's basketball and volleyball programs, also went through a renovation last summer that included a newly redesigned floor, composite bleachers, and hand-sewn banners. The indoor track overlooks the gym and the department's varsity-only weight room, the Lunder Performance Center, while the new Hintley and Family Indoor Golf Performance Center sits next to Lunder. Morse Pool, which is home to the Beavers' men's and women's swimming and diving programs, is across from the Roger and Rico PepsiCo Pavilion. Adjacent to BRAC is Babson's Outdoor Facilities Complex. Field hockey and the men's and women's lacrosse programs play at McDowell Field. Hartwell Rogers Field features one of the top natural grass surfaces in the country for men's and women's soccer, and Alumni Field is home to the softball program. The Beavers' new state-of-the-art 8-court lighted tennis facility is a short walk from the softball complex, and down the hill is the Babson Skating Center, which houses the men's ice hockey program. A short walk from the upperclassmen residence halls and accessible from Route 135 is Gavoni Field, the home of Babson's baseball program. Finished prior to the fall of 2019, Babson Commons at Horn Library is home to technology-enabled classrooms, the Stephen D. Cutler Center for Investments and Finance, and academic resources such as the Math, Speech, and Writing Centers. Opened in the fall of 2019 during Babson's centennial celebration, Carrie Murphy Healy Park celebrates the college's long-standing commitment to global diversity and impact. The park features the iconic Babson World Globe, the Centennial Walkway, and the Fountain of Flags as a show of respect to Roger Babson in his dream of appreciating the world as a whole. Located across from the Globe, the Reynolds Campus Center is a hub for on-campus activity. Whether visiting the campus bookstore, checking your mail, grabbing a bite to eat at Crossroads Cafe, or just relaxing, Ray's is a popular hangout for students, staff, and professors. Opened in 2018, the Weissman Foundry provides a creative space for individuals, groups, and entrepreneurial startups to collaborate, experiment, and build. The Foundry has the tools and resources needed to take ideas and concepts to the next level. The Park Manor Quad, located just off College Drive, is home to 4 residence halls, a newly renovated green space, and the Schlesinger Innovation Center, which was specifically designed for work in foundations of management and entrepreneurship classes. 2 of the oldest buildings on campus, Tommaso Hall and Knight Auditorium, are both identified by their iconic pillars. Knight was one of the first buildings constructed at the college in the 1920s, while Tommaso served as Babson's library from 1939 to 1980, before becoming one of the main academic buildings on campus. When you arrive on campus, one of the first buildings you see on the corner of College Drive and Map Hill Drive is Trim Dining Hall. The main dining hall at Babson, Trim received a facelift in 2016 that included the opening of the new Rogers Pub and Grill Room. Thank you for joining us on our virtual tour. We are looking forward to seeing you on campus in the near future. Go Babbo!
The first half, both teams were playing on a lot of adrenaline, and early on in the game, I feel like Ty Nichols and Joey were, I don't know if they were dueling each other, but they were definitely matching a lot of baskets and keeping their teams going. I think the big thing for us in the first half was we really struggled when they drove it at us, and we missed some step-ups and some sinks. And then I think in the second half, we kind of got used to how they were playing, and I think we attacked dribble penetration just more effectively.
Throws it right into the hands of Ty Nichols, who rips it away. Nichols has no...
I just thought our transition defense was better, and we were able to get our defense set. And I think normally for us, when we had problems, it was either in transition or individual players going off. And, to Ty's credit, he made a couple of really difficult shots in the first half. So we definitely had to do a better job, and I felt like we did, and that started with setting our half-court defense and then going from there. But, yeah, he's super talented, and that first half was, about as good as you'll see.
Tipped by Lund, ran out of real estate as David Stauffer ended up with it in his hands on the Babson bench. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. And 18:51 left on the big one. Lob entry knocked away. Flannery got to it in the backcourt. He was the last to touch it. Great hustle play there by Jaquel Edwards. And Keene State's offense back in business. Flannery, with his points tonight, has moved into 11th all-time in Division III history with 2,562. Would need another 24 to move into 10th. And he is now the leading career scorer in the nation among active players right now. This is the prior leader from Ripon, lost out of the tournament in the first round. Flannery's been playing uncontested ever since, and he's finally toppled that mark. Cominal inside out. Flannery head fakes on 3. Gives to Nelson. Nelson cross court, catch and shoot for Cominal's. Got it again! You've got the first semester Nick Cominal right now. That's a major problem for the Keene State Owls. Bounce pass inside. Edwards gets it to bounce in. 6 for Edwards. And the Babson lead stands at 6. Rice to Lowry. They'll dare him to shoot that. He says thank you and misses the shot. Off the back rim. It was on line. He just sent it out a little too far. Lowry, not a great three-point shooter. 35% coming into tonight. And as such, defenses will often dare him to shoot because they're trying to take away everybody else. Hamill wants to go inside for Azella. Rice had other plans. Rice knocked the ball away, but then he grabbed Azella's wrist. And the result of that is that's going to be a premature third foul on Charlie Rice. This whole 7-player thing has been working great for Babson, but it only works if everybody stays in the game. You can't afford to have anybody foul out. And Stephen Brennan knows that better than anybody as he gets Rice out of the game here immediately with 17:46 left. So Matthew Droney yet again, Johnny on the spot, as he's been time and time again for Babson in the postseason. Again, Sam Bowmiller in street clothes yet again tonight. Bradley Jack's limited. Ball's inside, taken away. Beavers come away with it. Droney into the front court. Hands it off for Flannery. Droney puts it to the floor. Gives to Flannery. Flannery's got the screen from Nelson, uses it. Now needs some help, throws cross court. Droney to the baseline, bounces through. Lowry extra pass up top. Cominall from straight on. Bang! Remember him? He's a really good shooter. 14 points for number 21, and Babson's lead is 9, 57-48. Shot does not go for Nichols, so he'll get 2 from the line instead of the and 1. Droney picks up that foul. It's his second with 16:49 left. And Babson's got to find a way to avoid fouls here for a couple of minutes. Nichols had a big-time first half with 16 points. Looking to add to that from the free throw line here. Misses the first. And you just wonder, this road for Keene has been so hard and so long. No road, no home games, 2 neutral sites and 1 true road game. And now you're trying to do it in a hostile environment against another top 5 team. Is there enough gas left in the tank to get them through another 17 minutes of high-level basketball? Flannery leaves it back up top for Lowry, over to Droney. Cominall, 1 dribble, picks it up. And gets it back from Droney. Cominall leaves it back with 7. Droney's got to make something happen with 6, feeds inside. Nelson, great extra pass in front of the buzzer! Lowry hits the 3! Chris Lowry checks in, and everybody's making it rain tonight for the Beavers. 60-49. Hamill falls back into a free throw line jumper, and it's good. And did Keene ever needed that? Needed something to calm this thing down a little bit. Media timeout coming next whistle. Lowry, extra pass up top. Droney leaves it back. Another extra pass. Flannery again. No. Bounces out. Offensive rebound up top. Droney got it out to Lowry. Droney through traffic to the baseline. Throws to the backside. Another extra pass. Cominall wet. Too much passing for this Keene State defense. Have a chance tonight, which means you got to put about 34 more up away from home in this big a game with everything on the line. Good luck. But that's the challenge in front of them now. They've earned the right to go after it. Edwards up top for Nichols. Nichols inside out. Hamill looking for 3 of it right away, and he hits. Lucas Hamill the 3 from the left side. As the Owls not going away here. Back to single digits again, 63-54. Can Keene improve on the defense, which was not good the last couple minutes? Droney for Flannery. Nelson screaming for it, gets it inside past 2 defenders. He beat Lunn, he knew he would, was calling for the ball, which he almost never does. And he scores for the first time in the second.
I mean, we did play, the ball had some real energy that night. It was zipping around, and I thought we really made them pay. Again, watching the game again, I was surprised to see how much they helped off of Nick at times. So, I think we had a lot of guys on our team. Probably Lowry would be the best example that he kind of just knew where to find guys. So I thought the ball was really zinging around. As far as our best performance, I don't really know. I don't remember ever in that game feeling like we were playing, otherworldly or anything like that. I kind of felt like it was another game.
Out of Nick Cominall. They're both back to their midseason form right now. And if that continues to hold, the Beavers are going to be playing next week. Can Keene take at least one of those? Babson off.
Coach B and my teammates trusted me to make those plays, and we're always, pushing each other to the limits. And really just that big atmosphere was something that I think we all knew we had to step up to, and we wanted to, we were ready to, with all the seniors we had and the experience. So I think we were just comfortable and other guys had such a good NCAA tournament. Obviously Isaiah, but the other guys that stepped up off the bench, Chuck, what he was able to do, Lowry with Bo Miller going down, then of course the other seniors we had with experience. So it was special. But no, I think just everyone around me allowed me to step up in some of those moments.
Who's that third scorer going to be right now? Pass through to the right side. Azella through the lane. That should be a charge. It's a block. They get Flannery for the foul. As he was trying to take the charge, maybe it wasn't set quite long enough, but he picks up his second right there. And if Keene could just get one of these Babson players in serious foul trouble, the game could really swing back in their favor. Still a lot of time. 13-15 to be precise. And Azella at the free throw line. He's a 64% free throw shooter on the year. Misses the first off the back rim. Lehman comes back in for Keene. Jax and Rice both come back in for Babson. So Lowry and Nelson sit. And this is an interesting configuration as Babson using Rice and Jax as their two bigs, something we've seen very little of lately. Second free throw good for Azella. He's got 11, and it's an 8-point game. Keene now with a full court press. Jax up against the sideline, puts it to the floor, needs some help, gets it from Flannery. He'll get it across the timeline safely. Cross court, Cominall fakes the three and gets clobbered. Lehman took the bait, took a hard bite on the bait, and he picks up his first foul. Team's first foul of the half, I mean to say. It's Lehman's second. Flannery will handle the inbound from just in front of the Babson student section. Puts it into Rice. Jax at the wing. Will he trust himself to put up a three after the ones last night? Droney backs in with the left hand. His pass somehow gets through to Flannery. Went right through Lehman's hands. Bounced up top, Droney. Kicks out, Cominall, another contested three, no good. And Edwards chases down the miss. The Keene State defense has gotten much better since the Ryan Kane timeout. And that's allowed them to stay in this game. 12 and a half minutes remain. Steal by Flannery. Flannery's got an eye on the basket. He goes up, and it drops. Tried to draw the foul from Nichols and couldn't. Still got the basket. He's got 20. Nichols fouled and will get to the line. Who picks it up here? Is it on Jax or is it on Flannery? It's on Jax, and he can better afford them, of course. He's going to play fewer minutes. That is the third on Jax, though. You figure Jax probably isn't going to be a crunch time player tonight, but who knows? Nichols at the line, shooting two, and this Keene's just got to keep doing what they did there. They've got to drive the basket over and over again. The more fouls they can distribute on Babson's page in the book, the better chance they're going to have of coming back tonight. 12-16 remaining. Babson's lead is 9. Nichols misses the second, and Rice grabs the board. 12-12 to go in the second half. See if Babson slows this down. They will, and we'll have a media timeout coming shortly as we duck under 12 right here. 13 to shoot. Jax gets himself free at the free throw line. No good off the back rim. Had good lift on that jumper. It was too long. Everything last night was too short. Hamill looks inside, shovels it down to Azella, who backs in on Rice, inside out. Lehman runs in. His right-hander gets a great roll and drops. So Keene's evening it up now, 67-60 the score, with 11:28 left to go in regulation. Cominall picks up his dribble, hits Jax. Jax will again try a jumper. That one's on the money. Bradley's back, and not a moment too soon. His first points of the tournament. 11:05 to go, up and under his Lund, and he scores. 10:57 to go. Droney dribbles left. Down to Cominal. Pass through, knocked away by Lehman, out of bounds, and that brings us to the timeout. 10:47 remaining in regulation. Your score, Babson 69, Keene State 62. Don't go anywhere. This one's getting good. You're watching the 2000.
I don't know if this is a factor or not, but I thought they spent a ton of emotion the night before, revenging the Christopher Newport loss from the year before. That was a really big deal. That was a rematch, and I just thought that we kept coming and they were not able to match. We had 51 in both halves, and we had a lot of opportunities where we drove and dumped for layups. Flannery made some threes, and as usual, kind of Chuck was the unsung hero. He's 8 for 10, and Isaiah, was getting a ton of layups. He was 6 for 8. So I think we were able to shoot a ridiculously high percentage for the game at 62%, and I think we just did what we do for longer than they did.
Out under the basket, waiting for the ball. Flannery got it there. And the Beaver lead double digits again at 73-62. That one knocked away. Nelson got a hand on it, got just enough of it to knock it over to Droney. So here's Flannery, steps up, gives to Nelson. Nelson inside out up top for Droney. And of course the clock becoming Babson's best friend with a double-digit lead at home in the final 10 minutes of regulation now. Droney spins in the lane, has it punched away by Nichols. Nichols comes up with it, 3-on-2 up the floor for Keene. Pull up 3 by Nichols, bounces out. Rebound, Nelson came flying in from behind. And that clock will continue to churn. 9:39, 9:38, 9:37 to go. Babson A-OK with a stalemate at this stage in the game with a double-digit lead. Nelson backs it down. Switches to the right hand, goes up and under, misses. Shot clock never reset, so Rice tried to save the ball in. It wouldn't have helped even if he had. There was only 2 seconds left on the shot clock, and nobody was in position to shoot. So the Owls come up with a stop there, but they let some precious time slip away. Now 9:16 remaining. Lowry at the table looking to get back in for Babson. Nichols takes Flannery on one-on-one, hits Azella in the lane. Great move to the basket, but Azella misses the bunny. Cominal rips the rebound and draws a foul from Nichols. Took Cominal a while to rip that away. If he had had to protect it once more, Babson might have called.
Someone actually sent me a video of it the other day of us getting called out of the game, and student section was going crazy. But I don't think I thought about that it was the last time playing in the gym before the game. I think I was just so kind of in that next game mentality. Obviously, it was a back-to-back, so you don't have too much time to really, sit there and think, except for the night before where you're not falling asleep. But we were really just focused on that game, and then, obviously we knew we were going to get to the Final Four, but I don't know, it just seemed bigger than that last game at Babson. But I think he kind of hit me. I think when I was walking off and gave Coach B a hug, I was like, oh wow, that was crazy.
Hamill 74% from the line this year, makes the first. Hamill averaging 8.6 points per game over his average tonight, just got his 10th. Make it 11. Flannery handles the inbound, leads still 11 here for Babson with the ball. Flannery stops and starts, kicks out for Cominal. Cominal passes on the way by. Flannery bounces it down and misses Nelson. Nelson saying that's his fault as he tried to back in a little further before he reached out for the ball. Mistake there by Babson is going to give Keene a chance to cut it to single digits. Nichols lets it roll into the front court, already looking to conserve clock, and he'll pick it up to trigger the clock with 8:20 remaining. Hamill down to the end line. I thought he stepped on it, throws into a steal anyway. 5-on-4 now for Babson, unless Hamill can get back quick, which he does. Lowry leaves it for Rice. Rice to the elbow, up top for Flannery. Flannery on Nichols, takes him on the dribble drive. He gets pushed from behind and scores anyway. Nichols gave him a little two-handed shove to the belt. Didn't matter. Flannery with 24, needs 2 more for 700 on the year. Hamill off to the right side. Here's Nichols. Nichols has got to take over the offense now for Keene. And this is where Flannery shows what a great defender he is in addition to scoring. Hamill with 6, leaves it back up top. Nichols has to let it fly now. Passes with 1 left, and they get it off just in time, and Lund scores. An expensive 2 points, though. It takes 30 seconds away from the game. You're still down 11. Keene's got to score, and they've got to score quick. High screen by Nelson. Flannery didn't wait for it. Gives it out to Rice. Left alone for 3. Missed a little too strong off the far side rim. Of course, he hit that huge one that gave Babson the 12-point lead last night. Inside, Lehman was all alone. Missed the bunny. Easiest shot Keene's had all night, and it's a miss. Rice!
You know, obviously, Lowry and Charlie hadn't started a game until the tournament, you know, and for them to go from being reserves to starters and, you know, accepting and embracing their role was a huge thing for us because, you know, Lowry's so different than Bo Miller. Bo Miller was kind of that stretch, you know, point guard making threes and keeping the floor spaced. And, you know, Lowry, you know, like he had 3 offensive rebounds in the first half that kept us going, you know. And I think he just is such a good passer, high IQ guy, and, you know, was able to fit his game into what we do, which was, you know, completely different than Sam's game. And then when you look at Droney, you know, he comes in and, you know, spells him at the point and gives us versatility and length and just leadership and toughness, you know. The biggest thing in looking back at the game was just, I mean, we didn't chart deflections, but there was a lot of deflections, you know, when they drove. So plays that they normally might make, you know, I think our length hurt them and our sinks hurt them. And I think that both Lowry and Droney are a big piece of that. And, you know, Charlie was our, you know, 3-and-D guy forever. I mean, he guarded bigs, he guarded smalls. I mean, whatever it took, he was our unsung hero and best defender. And, you know, I think he not only continued to do that through the tournament, but he was just, you know, excellent defensive rebounder, and most importantly, like his confidence shooting the ball. I mean, you know, in this game, you know, he was 8 for 10 from the floor, 2 for 3 from 3. You know, I mean, those are ridiculous numbers in terms of just percentages. And, you know, like I think he's the ultimate guy who just believes in the team and that the ball will find him. And he always took great shots. He never took forced shots. You know, and I think between him and Isaiah, you know, we were able to get, you know, easy post-ups, drives, but the interior passing that Charlie is so gifted at really made a difference too. So I think those 3 guys were, you know, obviously a lot of the times they didn't get the headlines that, you know, a Kaminal whose threes are always daggers, and, you know, and obviously Joey and Iz, you know, were constant, you know, big time scorers for us. But, you know, they had a great synergy, great ability to make each other better. And I'd say that unselfish, you know, whatever it took for us to win, those 3 guys embodied.
Answer what's now a 16-point deficit if their best scorer is neutralized. I don't know if that question has an answer. Flannery to the floor, picks up his dribble, throws it up top for Lowry. Lowry will try the straight-on 3, and it's good! Can taste it now, can't you? Beavers by 19. Missed back the other way, Rice the rebound, and here we go. Lowry into the front court. The roof's grip on this building is very, very limited right now. One more basket might blow the thing off. Flannery fouled before the approach. Foul on Nichols is his 3rd. And that's all gravy for Babson. Reset that shot clock. They can take it under 5 minutes on this possession, up by 19. Beavers with 87 last night, 85 tonight, and still 5:03 to go. Flannery puts it into Rice. Kaminal draws 3 defenders. Beautiful dish inside for Rice. 20 points for the senior out of Barnstable. and the Beavers lead it by 21. 4:44 to go. Here's Hamill, lays it in. They've switched the defender. Now it's Edwards on Flannery. Flannery comes across and calls timeout. Well, how's 20 in the Elite Eight for you? 4:32 to go. Beavers with the ball and put it in play. Flannery got tripped by Nichols. No whistle. 17 to shoot. Flannery off the dribble through the lane. Lays it up. Scored and one! The double bicep flex by Joey on the march to the line. Points 699 and 700 of his storied senior season. Flannery certainly did not want the road to end in this building. And he's taken the Beavers one giant step toward making sure the road does not end in this building. Lowry back in. Nelson to the bench with 4:23 left. Nelson with no fouls. Flannery's free throw right down the middle. Hamill with a dribble drive, got fouled, scored and won. Pominol was there, Rice was there. If it's on Rice, it's his fourth. And it is. So the Beavers have that to manage, and so much for the rest for Nelson as he's got to come right back in. Rice will go to the bench with 4:12 left. And he gets a loud round of applause from the Beaver fans present. Hamill's free throw is good. Keene State gets into a full court press, and Droney will call timeout.
I just think the other thing was we had so many guys that just made a lot of contested shots all the time. And obviously Joey is the best example of that. And just some of the shots he makes, having watched him or played with him for 3 years, you kind of don't think twice. But then when you go back and look, guys are draped up all over him and he's making shots. And I think, his confidence, and we all played off of that as usual.
More yesterday in their win over Christopher Newport. It triggers the bonus. So Lowry at the line shooting a 1-and-1. Lowry a 54% free throw shooter, so that may have been intentional. That might be why he's in there. And in fact, Stephen Brennan counters. He puts Bradley Jacks at the table. Lowry misses the free throw. So Keene gets the quick stop. So Colligan can afford the fouls, and if Lowry keeps missing free throws, they'll stick with it. And an NBA bailout call there against Lowry. Hamill coming in completely out of control, didn't have a prayer of making that shot. He tumbles on the ground, the shot falls out, and then they blow the whistle for him. Foul on Lowry is his second, but Hamill gets himself back to the stripe with 3:59 left. Should have the timeout here. Haven't seen it yet, as we are in the most literal sense under 4. First free throw by Hamill is up and good. Jacks comes in. Nelson going to come out now. So your front court right now is Jacks and then, I don't know, Droney maybe at the 4? Rice, Stauffer, and Nelson all off the floor. Second free throw no good as Babson wants free throw shooters out there right now. And they'll probably try to keep the ball out of Droney and Lowry's hands as much as possible. So cut the floor in half. It's going to stay on the right side as much as they can. Flannery takes it left himself, gives it to Lowry. We'll see if they'll foul him. No, he goes up and under and scores. Well, that's one way to prevent the hack of Chris. Run in and get two real quick. Nichols with a desperation three, no good. And we are very, very, very close to projecting the winner in the Babson Park section. Pominol, no, off the back rim. That would have just about done it. Nichols wants another three. This one is good. So a 6-point swing there. Keene needs a few of those. Babson very nearly led by 23. Instead, it's down to 17. Flannery lobs it across for Lowry. We'll see if they want to foul him here. He backs it out. They really should. Would stop the clock. Give him good odds at the line. They don't. Droney to the baseline. Throws through to Jax. Jax steps in. He gets fouled and will get to the line. Foul is on Jaquel Edwards. That's his fourth. And Bradley Jax will go to the line. He has not been there much lately, and not much this year at all, given how much he's played. Bradley started 25 games for the Beavers this year and has attempted only 59 free throws. He's a 75% free throw shooter in that sample, 44 of 59. We'll see how he looks. Remember, it's that right foot that's been bothering him. He gets just enough on that one. Jax is 6'7", 230-pound junior forward out of Fort Washington, Maryland, and Gonzaga College High School. And he is the immediate future of the Babson basketball program. He's kind of been second fiddle to John Wicke and then Isaiah Nelson. It's going to be his team next year, him and Nick Cominal. Second free throw bounces out, no good. And Azella chases down the miss. Can Keene find its way in out another three? Azella steps inside, throws out to him.
It was a stark difference from 2 years ago because obviously we remember that game went into overtime and down to the last seconds, and we were actually losing against Trinity. I think we were losing by 3 with like 20 seconds to go. We didn't have the ball. It was a much different feeling. I remember subbing out and kind of just taking a deep breath and getting able to, being able to sit there and just take it in. I remember we had some alums behind the bench as well that were coming over, and they were pretty excited. And then, to see the younger guys be able to get in and have a chance to play in an Elite Eight game is something that you can't get back. I just remember before the game, the talk for, Joey and I mostly was just like, look, like, we are not losing our last game on our home floor. We just went out there and tried to play like it.
Lob entry punched away from Lehman. Lehman swings it over the left side to Kyle Santoro, a sophomore from Poughkeepsie, New York, and Our Lady of Lourdes. Gagliolo in for the first time. We saw him last night, a guard out of Peabody.
Looking back on it, just a special time with a close group of guys. So having that last great moment, I think, is something that we all remember. The final moments of that game was something I think we were able to enjoy in the time, even though we were so focused on, what was to come and looking forward. But I think we were able to kind of enjoy that last stretch there once we started to pull away, which was nice looking back on it.
They are going back to the show in 2017. It's as simple as that. It's been hanging. It's been the elephant in the room all year long. Ever since that night out at Tufts when Flannery rolled his ankle, Babson had the second half lead on Amherst. Everyone looked at this year with that whole group coming back. This was going to be your shot to go make it right and go to the Final Four again. Now Babson will empty its bench, and incredibly, in this building where there's been so many nail-biters and so many big games, we're going to have a $1:45 left. Stauffer with the body English points that one home. Oftring, Alexis, Ulrichsen, Coulihan, and Kelly all on the floor now for Babson. A dream come true at the Stocky tonight with 1:47 to go. Three ball up and good by Gagliolo. Alexis handles the inbound here. Babson, as a group now, has won 10 NCAA tournament games in 3 years. 10 games in the NCAA tournament in 3 years. Let that sink in for a moment. Ulrichsen dishes it down low. Coulihan, how about that? 2 for the first year out of Newtown, PA, and Babson hits the century mark in regulation. Timeout called by Keene as they'll make a substitution. Whatever floats your boat, I suppose. Ben Olson, a freshman center from Derry, New Hampshire, and Pickerton comes on with 1:09 left to go. Three ball, no good off the back rim. Rebound comes down to Ulrichsen. Shy, of course, has a lot of families, been watching these games up in Maine all year. They're going to be happy to see him out there. BK goes up strong, can't get it to go. Rebound lost out of bounds to stick with Babson and 51.1 seconds remaining. Here's how it'll work after the game's over. We will pick up the trophy presentation and the net cutting. After that's over, we'll have press conferences, not on this broadcast, but they will be live on Facebook and Twitter. Keene will go first tonight. That breaks from the convention we've had. And Babson will finish up. Oftring misses the straight-on three. Rebound pulled down by Santoro. Santoro has his pass kicked by Ulrichsen. And how about a first-year taking on a 2-on-1 and breaking it up with 38 seconds left to go. So the future is bright for Babson, but the present is even brighter. As BK gets a hand on that, chases down the steal. Brian Kelly, what a play. Tried to throw it out of bounds off his opponent, and he did. Babson's going to get rewarded with the ball there. Or did they call a foul? Let's see. They call a foul, and that'll put BK at the line. I love it. I absolutely love it, and I'm not the only one. Brian Kelly, the junior out of Potomac, Maryland, with a Bullis School, at the line shooting two. The human victory cigar. If this goes in, oh my goodness. That is the sound of a trip to the Final Four. BK, 2 for 2. 102 points for Babson College in the Elite Eight. Shot from inside, no good. Foul by Oftring. Free throws coming with 29.3 left to go. Congratulations are in order for Keene State coming into the tournament at large. Lost the Little East Championship game to Eastern Connecticut. Knocked off Amherst, Ramapo, and Christopher Newport. That is no easy road to the Elite Eight. That is a very difficult road. They needed to beat 3 of the nation's top 5 teams in order to get to the Final Four. Well, understandably, they weren't able to do it. They'll finish the year at 22-10, and really those true away games were their Achilles heel. They'll finish 5-9 in true away games. Of course, 2 of their 3 NCAA wins being neutral site. Shot clock is turned off, so we should not need another shot, and I don't believe we'll get one. Julian Alexis, the first year out of Somerville, New Jersey, dribbles out the time, and it fittingly goes over to BK with 17 remaining. They'll send it around. This is not a new height for Babson. They were there 2 years ago. They went to the Final Four in 2015, and thanks to a very resilient response to the injury bug here in 2017, they're going back. Your final score here tonight, Babson College 102, Keene State 79.